When a community comes together and everyone pitches in, the smallest gesture can become a wave of good. Canadian Tire presents Prince George Live in support of the PG Community Foundation, a night of music, art, and inspiring stories to raise funds for a charitable organization that brings together people who care about their community.
Howdy, I'm Dai Clay Poutney. I am Chief of the Claydley Tenay, and on behalf of Chief and Council and our members and our elders, I welcome each and every one of you to the territory of the Claydley Tenay First Nation. Claydley Tenay, the First Nation here at the confluence of the two rivers, was a massive trading hub. So we had people come from all over here and would meet here as well. So we would embrace them and welcome them. They're good people, obviously. We always had a big, vibrant community here. This would have been the main village, but we did have satellite villages off in other places, and we just had people everywhere. If you look back in the history, you would hear that people couldn't walk 100 meters in the forest without them bumping into somebody else along the trail. So it was a big, vibrant community, and it's been here forever. Present day now, with Prince George, there's a lot of philanthropy. There's a lot of people that have made a really good living here, and they love to give back to the community. And that's the way it's always been. It's been that way, and I like to see that spirit live on, and it's living on through the Community Foundation now. It was a great community back then, and it's a great community now.
And now, your host, Kyle Sampson.
Good evening and welcome to Prince George Live. I'm your host, Kyle Sampson, and we're in for a great night tonight. We'll be focusing on some of Prince George's best in entertainment, from music, dance, art, comedy, mixology, and so much more. We have a number of guests in the show as well to take us through the evening, and a lot of feature pieces to show you a little bit about the Prince George Community Foundation, of which this is benefiting. We hope you stay connected with us tonight, and you can do so not just by watching the show, but by using our hashtag PGLive. It's online on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and we'll be connecting with you on all of our feeds, so please use the hashtag and let us know how you're liking the show. Some of you may have taken advantage of our dinner program this evening with Farmhouse Catering. Partial proceeds from that program are going to the Prince George Community Foundation, while the rest of the proceeds are benefiting a great local company, Farmhouse Catering. And last but not least, I want to let you know that we have our online silent auction, which is happening now. You can check it out by clicking through at pgcf.ca. There are plenty of fantastic items from local businesses, and many of these items were made possible by the Downtown Rotary Club. Next, I do want to draw attention to our extensive COVID protocols that we have in studio here. We've been working diligently to ensure that everyone from our staff, crew, guests, performers are both safe and practicing the provincial health orders. You'll notice that I'm not wearing a mask, but I'm distanced from everybody in the studio. We have plexiglass shields. We have everybody on site who have been required to wear a mask while they're not on camera. And we have asked everybody as they've come in to do a temperature check, a COVID questionnaire, and to provide contact tracing information. The safety of our crew, performers, and guests is of the utmost importance to us, and we have gone to great measures to ensuring all of our safety. All right, we've gotten through the legalities, we've gotten through the formal stuff. We want to get down to the show, the entertainment, the fun, and to do that, we're excited to introduce our next guest. Some of you, the Prince George Community Foundation, might be old hat. You've heard about us, you know what we're all about. And for others, this might be a new introduction to you. So, without further ado, to get a better picture of the foundation, we're going to start our show by talking to the Director of Development from the Prince George Community Foundation, Mindy Strout. Mindy, how's it going?
Great, thanks, Kyle.
I'm really excited to have you on the show today, and for you to give me a chance to be part of this show as the host. It feels like over the past month and a half, as we've been planning this, we've gone from being acquaintances to being the best of friends, even though most of our interactions have been on Zoom, with the exception of this and this plexiglass shield between us.
That's right.
I think to give the folks at home a benefit of learning about the foundation, if you could just start by giving us a little bit of a highlight of what the Community Foundation is. What is it that they do?
Yeah, absolutely. So we take all of the donations that we receive and we grant them back to charities in the community. For example, Spirit of the North, Big Brothers Big Sisters, Minerva Foundation, and the Canadian Mental Health Association, just to name a couple. We also have a number of scholarships and bursaries with School District 57, CNC, and UNBC.
Yeah, it's kind of insane when you think about how much the Community Foundation impacts in our community. Over the last year, it's been interesting to see how the foundation's adapted. We started with the stay-at-home gala in May, very successful event. It was on Zoom. And then throughout the year, we've seen the Community Foundation continue to adapt in different ways. what's it look like going forward? In 2021, what's ahead for the foundation?
Yeah, absolutely. So emergency relief was a main priority of the foundation in 2020, and we are continuing that throughout 2021 to support the charities. But we're also celebrating our 25th anniversary. A couple of weeks ago, we launched a $1.25 million campaign, and that's really going to allow the foundation to do even more for our community.
Awesome. And tonight is all about bringing the community together, but what is our goal from the evening? What is the goal?
Yeah, absolutely. So our goal is to give a little bit of entertainment to the community, work with some local artists, entertainers, restaurants, businesses, and then also to raise $50,000.
$50,000 is a lot of money. It's nothing to balk at, but it's really exciting. I know we're going to get there. Mindy, it's really exciting to get going on tonight's show. Thank you so much for being here to kick things off. There's a number of ways people are going to be able to contribute, and we'll get to those in just a little while. But for the folks at home, we're asking you to dig deep tonight. We're asking you to help us reach that $50,000 goal. We will get there, Mindy, so don't stress too much. We will get there this evening. And actually, it's a great opportunity to jump into our first segment. It's one of the items that will be on the online auction. It's not on yet, but it's coming, and it's going to be online at pgcf.ca. It'll be an original painting done by Emily Holmes just for our event, and we're auctioning off that original painting. So with that, let's head up to the Northern Sports Centre to check in on Emily Holmes.
Hey Kyle, here we are up at the Northern Sports Centre. This is really a special place for me. I did my 5 years of university basketball here. So this is kind of a cool symbolic moment for me as an individual to get to paint up here. So today we're going to be working on kind of a Northern BC painting for the Prince George Live event that is being put on by the Prince George Community Foundation. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to spray the canvas just to get it primed a little bit, just because sometimes starting with a dry canvas can be a little rough with the paint. So we're just going to spray it a little bit just to get it prepped a little bit for some paint. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go in and just kind of figure out where our darks and lights are going to be. So just kind of some of our main lines.
We are so lucky to have Emily Holmes on the show tonight. Emily is a local artist who generously agreed to donate her painting from tonight to go towards our fundraising goal. The original painting will be auctioned off on our online platform, which you can access at pgcf.ca. 100% of the proceeds from its sale will go towards our goal of $50,000. The painting will be live on the auction at 7:30 p.m. tonight, so stay on and check it out. Bidding closes tomorrow at 7 p.m. Monday, March 1st. So bid early and bid often. There are a ton of great items to bid on, and this painting is sure to be the prized item of the night. We'll check in back with Emily later on in the show to see how her masterpiece is coming along. During the pandemic, we have seen significant changes in ways that people are supporting local and supporting local businesses. The hashtag #SupportPG, it's been an initiative that has taken our city by storm. We're seeing incredible efforts to bring the attention to remarkable businesses and products all throughout our community, and now's the time for us to take a little closer look.
Why do I shop local? Why do I shop local?
Why do I shop local?
Why do I shop local?
Why do I shop local?
Why do I shop local?
I love that I don't have to wait to get what I need. Delivery can take a while, especially up here in the north. It's so much easier to just pop into a store or even order online for curbside pickup. Instant gratification, no waiting required.
The staff at local stores aren't just employees, they're experts. If I've got questions, if I'm not sure what I need, or if I just want to talk shop, I can do that at a local store. It's an experience that you don't get online.
I like planning little staycations for myself. They're fun, relaxing, affordable, and the city has so much to offer.
Shopping local is way more fun than shopping online. You can make a day out of it. Get out of the house, check out some new stores, grab some lunch. You never know what kind of treasures you're gonna find in person.
There are a lot of local spots that get their produce locally. It's the freshest food. You can't beat the taste of Prince George local joints.
A lot of stuff around here isn't available anywhere else. We have some of the most talented artists around town that you just can't get anywhere else. I'd rather have a one-in-a-million gem than a carbon copy any day.
I'd rather keep my money local. Times are tough, I want to support the community and help our economy. Every local purchase benefits all of us in the end.
These local shops are owned by friends or family. They're not just businesses, they're our neighbors, and we've all got to stick together. My favorite local spot is Daddy-O's Pizza.
My favorite local spot is Great White.
My favorite local spot is Dandelions on 4th.
My favorite local spot is Wonderland Games on 15th Ave.
My favorite local spot is Batula Burning.
In the North, we care about our neighbors. That's why we support PG. Let's keep lifting each other up. We are a community, and we come together.
From Studio D, with a feed provided by Russell A.V., that was the Senior Ballet Dance Company from Judy Russell's Enchaînement Dance Center, and beautiful. I don't know what else to say. That was absolutely stunning. Choreographed by Nicole Russell, the piece titled Solstice, a contemporary ballet piece, was danced by Sarah, Kendra, Brielle, Anya, Lauren, Kristen, Caitlin, and Heidi, and again, just beautiful. The piece was created around the notion of being stuck. There are times that you might feel like life isn't progressing and things just aren't happening. Sometimes we develop a sense of being frustrated or overwhelmed, and when we face these situations, it's challenging. The dancers carry these feelings throughout the piece while finding moments of grace and tranquility while being perfectly still. And again, thank you very much to the dancers of Judy Russell's Enchaînement Dance Studio. Very much appreciated you being part of our show. I'd be remiss if I didn't take a moment to mention our sponsors tonight, with whom this program just wouldn't be possible. Let's face it, live TV ain't cheap, and these TVs behind me aren't cheap. And I just think it's really important we say thanks. So our title sponsor, Canadian Tire, Prince George. Our gold sponsor, Wood Wheaton Supercentre. Silver sponsors, Scotiabank and Brown Ridge Insurance. Bronze sponsors, All West Glass, MNP, Scotia Wealth, and Acme Parking Lot Maintenance. And to our broadcast partners here at the Jim Pattison Broadcast Group, CKPG TV, 101.3 The River, and 99.3 The Drive. Again, without the generosity of these organizations, we wouldn't be able to pull off tonight's program, so please remember them and support those who support us. Moving on, we want to remind you that this is in fact a fundraiser, so please consider making a donation, whether that's $5 or $500. Every dollar counts as we work towards our goal of $50,000. And the update I'm receiving right now from the control room is that we've been able to raise a whopping $5,679. It's only 17 minutes into the program, and we're just about $6,000 in, so let's keep that momentum going. And if you can, please donate. You can donate by calling our operators, who are currently standing by, at 250-562-7772, or by heading to our website at pgcf.ca. I know some of you are sitting at home right now enjoying that delicious meal from Farmhouse Catering, or perhaps you've moved on to dessert, or maybe you're relaxing on the couch with a cold drink. Well, earlier this week, I was invited to stop by one of PG's most favorite local restaurants. It's locally owned, it's locally operated, and I got a chance to learn how to make one of their famous beverages. So let's give you a chance to learn at home as well. Without further ado, let's take a chance to look at what past Kyle got up to earlier this week. Thanks, future Kyle. We're actually down here at Earl's Kitchen and Bar, where we're going to learn how to make a drink. It's one of PG's favorite local restaurants, and we've got Jess here, one of the managers, to tell us what we're going to be doing. So Jess, what are we making today?
Awesome. So today we're going to be making one of our new cocktails that's on our menu. It's new to the features we just added about a month ago. This cocktail is the Coconut Matcha Sour. It is going to be under our Better For You Booze section. Now, what that section is going to be is going to, in the trend of the new year, it's going to be lower calorie drinks or drinks that have some superfood aspects to it. So in this drink today, we're going to be using matcha syrup, which matcha is known as a superfood, as well as coconut water, which other superfood, not for me, but it's good in a cocktail. So yeah, that's going to be the drink we're doing today. It's got a couple really cool techniques when it comes to mixing the cocktail itself. So yeah.
Awesome. So coconut matcha sour.
Yeah.
All right, I'll remember that by the end.
For sure.
We've got a lot going on here. Can you tell me about the setup of the drink, what we need to make the drink, and why we have all of these things in front of us? What
Absolutely.
are these? What is this?
Yes.
What is going on?
Totally. So this cocktail is going to be using a technique called a dry shake. A dry shake is going to be used without ice. What that's going to do is it's going to create a lot of friction, and we're using egg whites today. So the purpose of that is to whip the egg whites and create a really nice foam for that sour drink. So yeah, we've got our cocktail kit here. We've just got a mixing glass as well as our strainer, because we're going to be straining that over our rocks glass here. We have a couple garnishes for after the drink is finished. We've got our jiggers here. A jigger is just a form of measurement in the bar. So yeah, this is a 1 ounce and then a 2 ounce jigger, and you've got over here a 1 ounce, 2 ounce, and a 1/2 ounce, as well as a 3/4 ounce. Mine has lines on the inside, so I can measure that myself. And then right here we have some bitters. Now bitters are kind of new to the cocktail world. I would say in the past you know, 5-6 years, they've really come forward. And they're just gonna add, like, it's basically alcohol, but it's really potent, and it's gonna have botanicals, herbs, stuff like that. And so that's just gonna be a little touch. It just adds a little extra level of flavor, a little more depth to the cocktail. So that's what we're gonna be using today. That's a kiwi sumac bitters, and it's made by Miss Better's Bitter Company.
Miss Better's Bitter Company. All right.
Yeah, a little bit of a tongueful.
I've noticed that, I mean, we're very similar in our setup here, but yours are just so much nicer. And you told me already before we started why that is.
Yeah.
Did you bring your own?
I did. This is a cocktail kit I received for Christmas one year because I'm a little bit of a nerd and I like to make cocktails at home. I definitely do a little bit of that in my spare time, so lots of drinking.
So you're the bar expert here at Earl's. So you've been here for how long?
I've been here for 9 years. I wouldn't call myself an expert, but I like to experiment. So
great.
I've been here for 9 years. I started here when I was, actually I'm not going to tell you my age. Scratch that. I won't say that. But I've been here for 9 years. I started as a hostess and then I went into bartending for a little bit and then kind of just worked my way up and eventually became a manager. So I'm one of the managers here at Earl's.
Fantastic. Well, thanks very much for having us, and let's get going on this drink.
Let's get going.
Where do we start?
Okay, so we're gonna start by grabbing our cheater tin, which is the smaller of the two. And like I said, we're doing a dry shake, so we're not gonna put ice in yet, but normally another type of cocktail, if you were shaking with ice, you would start with your ice. So yeah, we're gonna start with our thickest components. So basically the most viscous ingredient you have, we're gonna start with that, because then we're gonna use a technique called cleaning your jigger. You're gonna go from the thickest and then go to the juices and then the thinnest, which is gonna be your spirit. And you're also gonna use your spirits last because that way if you make a mistake along the way, you're not gonna have to be throwing out any alcohol because that's a sin.
Save the good stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
That is a sin.
Yeah, it really is. So we're gonna start with our egg whites here. So we've got pasteurized carton of egg whites.
Okay.
So we'll just open this guy up. And you're gonna need your 1/2 ounce, so that's gonna be that guy there. So we're gonna do 1/2 ounce of that. Oh, he's a natural. Perfect. Close this guy up. So next one here is going to be our matcha. So this is the matcha syrup. We obviously get our ingredients shipped in from a supplier that's specific for Earl's. So you probably wouldn't be able to get this exact one at home, but I'm sure there's recipes online to make matcha syrups, basically simple syrup and matcha, I'm assuming. So this one's gonna be 0.5 as well, so that one there. Perfect. And one thing I actually will talk about is your grape. Make sure you always fill it right to the rim of your jigger, because the jigger at the very top is the widest point. So if you're not right at that level, it's actually going to be more than you think, not full. You know what I'm saying?
Substantial losses as you go down the cone.
Exactly, yeah. So it is because it is the widest part, you're going to want to make sure that part is right to the rim.
Okay.
Next, we're going to be using the passion fruit. So that's just right there. And this guy's a little bit less. It carries quite a bit of bang, so it's got some sweetness to it. We're going to be doing 0.25. So you're really only going to fill that half full there. Just over half because of the
cone shape.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, great.
Perfect. Okay. Next up, we have our coconut water. So that's this here. I've just split it into two so we each have one. 0.75, so this one you're gonna flip over. Yep, perfect. A little bit more. There you go.
Perfect. Learning.
Learning. Learn something new every day. Lime juice. So the important thing also about all these measurements is that whoever made this cocktail at Earl's head office or, you know, part of our culinary development group, they've tested and tried in different components, a little bit more lime juice, a little bit less lime juice, and they've made a recipe that is the perfect amount of bitter, citrus, syrup, alcohol. And so that's why we always want to use our jiggers for consistency, as well as we always want to follow the recipe. So 0.5 of this guy. So yep, flip your guy back over.
So let's just take a second and recognize the folks who did make this the first time.
Yeah.
Their job is to sit around
they have the best
and
job.
make beverages and try them.
Literally.
So why don't we develop that here locally, where you and I just sit around and make beverages?
Hey.
And we test them out, and we have the Prince George special here at Earl's.
I am good for that.
Okay, I'm in.
How does John feel about that one? Yeah, awesome. Okay, so we've got all of our components there. Now we just need to add our spirit. So we're going to be using the Tanqueray gin today. I will go first. This guy is 1.5 ounces, so I'm going to show you a little trick here in a second. I am not going to be doing the trick because of the jigger I have. So it's 1.5 ounces. Now, instead of using your ounce and then your half, you're actually just gonna do 2 of the 0.75s.
Okay.
That way you don't have to switch jiggers in the middle, and that way you're saving some steps.
Some efficiency.
Efficiency, exactly. And you never want to cheap out on that, so you want to make sure you go all the way to the rim. Beautiful. Okay, that guy can go back down here. Awesome. So, last ingredient we have right now is the kiwi sumac bitters, and this is why we have them in these little bottles here. It's so you can get the perfect amount for every time. It's a little dasher, so we're just going to do 2 dashes. 1, 2.
Okay.
Pass it off to you. And we
This
have
is super
hands.
potent, you said.
It is, like, you don't need very much, right? All bitters are going to have, like, they're going to be pretty pretty potent. So perfect. Yep, throw that guy back up there. So then we're going to be doing our shake, our dry shake. So we'll start putting that guy on top. Whenever you're shaking something, you never want to be shaking forward, because if something goes sideways and you somehow lose control, you don't want to be getting it anywhere near your ice wall, especially if you're using a glass, mixing glass. You want to always be going sideways. Okay, so we can shake forward, we can do towards each other.
Perfect.
How's that? So 20 times vigorously. Okay. Okay, how's that? Whoa, this one is not having. Sorry guys, hold on a sec here. I must have been doing something wrong. I'm the noob today, so.
That's okay.
Awesome.
You're just making me look good, that's all.
Yeah, there we go. That was the whole plan all along, right? So now that we have that, we're gonna be adding our ice.
Okay.
So you've got an ice scoop on your side. Now when you add ice, you wanna make sure you pack it 1 full scoop, a little bit more. And the reason you're gonna do that is because you want the same amount of ice with every cocktail, so that, again, same dilution, same chill, even, consistent. So pop that guy back on. I'm gonna try not to get this everywhere. And 12 times this time, just to chill.
Right.
Okay, and then this is when it's usually gonna get stuck, because when it's cold,
expands.
Yeah, metal. So you're just gonna usually, if you can't get it off the first time, gonna give it, I'm having some, there we go.
Science and bartending.
Science and bartending. Well, that's really what bartending is, right? So, awesome. So this guy here, we're gonna get another scoop of ice, put that in our rocks glass. And you want that to be, yep, perfect. Then you're gonna take your strainer, which, sorry, I left over there for you. Right here. And then you're just gonna strain that over.
All right, this is the part where we fail, I'm sure.
No.
Okay.
Beautiful. Ooh. There we go, look at that.
It fits. It's perfect.
It's perfect. So that's exactly right. I've got some tongs over here for you. So we're gonna grab our lime wheel here, which we've cut. A little garnish. Throw it on the back of your drink. Oh. Yep. Perfect. And then these guys here, normally you would have a bigger set of tongs, but we're just gonna dump them on top.
Okay.
Make it easy. There we go. Get some height to that. Beauty. And there you have it, the coconut matcha sour. What do you think? Looks pretty good?
I think it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
I can't believe I made that.
You did. You did great. Better than me.
Should we try them?
I think we should. Let's at 6 feet apart, of course.
And let's get off camera, because no drinking on camera.
Oh, right, of course.
So if you are at home and you had a chance to follow along, let's talk through the ingredients. We've got egg whites.
Yes.
We have matcha syrup. We have, what is this one here again?
Passion fruit syrup.
Passion
so
fruit syrup.
Passion fruit cordial, I should say, which is just another form of syrup.
Okay, and you can, if you don't have this at home, you can look up online different ways to make it. Go and get the ingredients.
And you can also, we're pretty lenient here at Earl's. We like to sell you our stuff. So if there's something you really like from home, you could always come check it out and see if we could sell you the ingredient from us. We could always order you some in.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Coconut water.
Yeah.
We've got lime juice.
Yes.
We've got the gin.
Yes.
And your preference was the...
We just used the Tanqueray gin today, yeah.
Okay, great. And then we've got the bitters, which again were what kind of bitters?
So that's from Miss Better's Bitters. I know. Who came up with that name?
Tongue twister.
And it's the kiwi sumac bitters.
Okay,
yeah.
great. But the best solution of all is to come on down and support local. This is Earl's. This is one of PG's favorite restaurants, and if you want to get this beverage done right, you can try it at home, but the best bet is to come and get Jess to make it for you here at Earl's.
Yeah, honestly, and it saves you the mess. So.
Or, you know, I can make it for you.
Yeah, perfect. Kyle's on. He's on. Hired.
Thanks so much, and back over to you, future Kyle. Cheers.
Thanks.
Cheers. Thanks, past Kyle, and thanks, Jess, for the lesson on the great drink, and thanks to Earl's, locally owned and operated, for having us stop by. We've got an update for you. We've got $10,079. That's what's come in so far. So donate now, pgcf.ca or 250-562-7772. Next up, we've got a guy who's one of the first that comes to mind when you think of local entertainers. We reached out to ask him to be part of the show, and without hesitation, he said, absolutely. He's prepared to lay it down for us tonight. He's performed hundreds of shows all across North America, and you'll be sure to find him when he comes back out on the road after the pandemic. Rick Stavely, he's got a brand new album. It's called Hag on the Jukebox. You can download it now on Apple Music and Spotify. Take it over to Rick.
Hey, thanks a lot, Kyle. Thanks for having me here this year. I'm going to do a brand new Rick Stavely song for you. This one's called Right Where We Belong. Baby, turn up the volume. Ain't this your favorite song? Let's dance around the kitchen, cross these hardwood floors. Wanna hold you in my arm, girl, all night long. Baby, don't this feel like a little piece of heaven, chasing you down the hall? Closing them curtains, getting tangled up for certain, and casting shadows on the wall. Loving every second of it all. Ain't this right where we belong? Go on, put on that black dress, the one that zips in the back, yeah. I like helping you get ready before we go out. Love pulling that zipper down when we get back. Baby, don't this feel like a little piece of heaven, chasing you down the hall? Closing them curtains, getting tangled up for certain, and casting shadows on the wall. Loving every second of it all. Ain't this right where we belong? Girl, I think we should stay here, getting lost in each other's eyes. What we got here tonight is one of a kind. Baby, don't this feel like a little piece of heaven, chasing you down the hall? Closing them curtains, getting tangled up for certain, and casting shadows on the wall. And loving every second of it all. Ain't this right where we, it's easy to see, girl, it's right where we belong. Right where we belong. Hey, yeah, yeah, right where we belong. Hey, brand new Rick Stavely song here. I got one that's been on the radio all last year. They've been playing it on Country 97 FM. This one's called Gotta Unwind. Oh, man. It sure is a hot one. It's been 8 long hours in the hot sun, pounding nails and putting up walls. I've been biding my time till the workday's done, watching those minutes crawl. Well, now it's 5 o'clock, I can't wait. I got a 6-pack and a hot day. I gotta unwind, that's what the night is for. I got my baby in the shotgun seat, I got the pedal to the floor. Well, there's a spot we know by the river, can't wait to feel your lips on mine. Hey, I've been working for the man all day, and I gotta unwind. I gotta unwind. When she slips into the water, I forget about that long, hard day. And when the moon shines on her body, Lord, it takes my breath away. Well, tomorrow, back to the grind again. But right now, I'm praying this moment won't end. I gotta unwind. That's what the night is for. I got my baby in a shotgun seat. I got the pedal to the floor. Well, there's a spot we know by the river. Can't wait to feel her lips on mine. Hey, I've been working for the man all day, and I gotta unwind. I gotta unwind. My daddy gave me some good words of advice. He said it's one thing to make a good living, but the main thing is living right. So I gotta unwind. That's what this night is for. I got my baby in a shotgun seat. I got the pedal to the floor. Well, there's a spot we know by the river. Can't wait to feel her lips on mine. Hey, I've been working for the man all day, sweating too much for too little pay. Yeah, I've been working for the man all day, and I gotta unwind. I gotta unwind. I gotta unwind. I gotta unwind. Hey, thank you so much for the Prince George Community Foundation for having me here in PG Live.
Thanks so much, Rick. Let's give it up for Rick Stavely at home. That round of applause. Absolutely fantastic. And you can download his newest album, Hag on the Jukebox, on Apple Music and Spotify now. I'm hearing right now from the control room that we actually have an update. We had an anonymous donor just donate $15,000, which is absolutely unbelievable. So thank you so much. Keep those donations rolling in. pgcf.ca and 250-562-777. Our operators are standing by. I think I mentioned it earlier on. We do have a generous contributor here. Jim and Noreen Rustad have been contributing a $25,000 matching donation program. So every donation that comes in, including that anonymous donation of $15,000, is being matched up to a total of $25,000. So thanks to them. Our next guest, he really needs no introduction. There's no doubt he's one of PG's most respected business people. He's certainly one of our community's most active and well-rounded philanthropists. And on top of that, I'm also really lucky to call him one of my best friends. We're joined now with Selin Alpe. Selin, how's it going?
Thanks, Kyle, for inviting me to participate in this awesome event now in its second year. This gala is a great way to showcase and celebrate what the Prince George Community Foundation supports in our fine city. It's always important to me to do my very best to try and do the right thing in our city. When I have the opportunity to engage with the Community Foundation, I feel like I'm a part of a cog in the wheel of positively impacting the lives of people in our city. The foundation has really deep roots in our community and has been a part of the fabric for over 25 years. Over this period of time, they have been successful in building many, many relationships. These ties to the community have made them completely aware of their needs, which have resulted in the financial support of countless organizations. The foundation is a group of people who are game changers. If you want to support our fine city, the team at the foundation can explain the current needs and direct your financial contributions to an organization that most resonates with you.
I think you said it all right there, and I know that's why you contribute the way you do to the foundation, which I know you support a lot of initiatives around town, but I know the foundation's really important to you, and we're just so appreciative. I should have said it earlier, Sel. In case people didn't know, Sel in Alpay is the owner of the local Canadian Tire in town, which I'm sure everybody has seen in one way or another. A lot of people have heard your name, maybe haven't had the chance to get to know you on that personal level. I want to take a look back. If we look back and think about where you started with your first store, that was in Ontario, correct?
True, right.
True. And then you moved to Prince George. When was that? You took on the store here?
Oh, that was back in 2007. So we've been almost 14 years in this fine
coming up on
community.
a long time.
Yeah.
And I guess what I want to know is, what was the catalyst? What was that aha moment that took place that made you realize, I love Prince George and I want to give back in the huge ways that you do?
You know, that's a tough question. The catalyst for me is still always about doing the right thing. I love this community and the amazing residents and how they look after one another in a really beautiful way. And I'm just blessed and honored to be part of this unique culture that is so supportive of each other and all of its needs. I'm fortunate enough to financially support, but you know what? That's just one piece of the puzzle. And it's probably the easiest piece of the puzzle because all it is writing a check. The more important piece, in my opinion, is being involved, is participating and volunteering for one of the many charitable organizations in this city that are positively making change and ultimately affecting the lives of many, many, many individuals. I have often been reminded by my greatest mentor, Michael Pinball Clemens, that at the end of your life, make sure that you have given back more than you have taken. And that's the perspective I have and why I get up in the morning. It's something that resonates with me, it's top of mind awareness for me, and I live by those words every day.
And you can see it. It's
absolutely 100%.
That's one of the reasons why I call you one of my mentors, and I love to call you a friend. I got last question for you is, we've seen a number of shows together, concerts that is. We're both big music fans. One of my favorite memories, not just between you and I, but just in general, was the time we traveled to Toronto to see the Rolling Stones, front row, up close and personal. It was just unbelievable. And I guess looking to the end of the pandemic, trying to see that light at the end of the tunnel, I'm looking forward to concerts coming back, especially right here in Prince George, so our community can benefit. In a quick answer, what's the band that you're looking forward to seeing come to Prince George after this is all done?
Oh my gosh, that's a great question. And lately I've been listening to the Bluestones, who are a band that have just come out since 2018. And I would love for them to open for my very favorite band in the whole wide world, Def Leppard.
I kind of knew you were going to say that. I challenge you. Let's make it happen. Let's get Def Leppard here after the pandemic.
Let's do this.
All right. Thanks a lot, buddy. I really can't thank you enough for being here. I know the Community Foundation is so appreciative of your commitment to them and your support tonight. So on behalf of them, on behalf of myself, thank you. And it's really because of people like you that the foundation is able to do the things like this.
It was 4 days after we had been told we could not facilitate having people eat meals inside. We were scrambling. We didn't have the products to pack all the food, to get it out. I got this phone call from the Community Foundation to tell me they were sending us a check.
At this time, the grant was used for what's called a Bugsy wheelchair, and it is a little child's chair, and it helps kids to learn cause and effect and gives them early mobility.
We started art expression. Primarily, the money goes towards supplies. We are now putting together another year of programming for our members.
Northern Clinical Simulations has been around for 10 years. Some of the equipment is quite aged. We really rely on donors and grants and foundations. This training equipment is about improving the competencies and the confidence of the healthcare professionals. Really, it's about improving patient outcomes.
The reason why we want early mobility is because the sooner a child is moving on their own, it increases their intellect. It also increases their social skills and their ability to learn in general. It's very important to get the children moving as fast as we can.
When we come up with ideas, we have to gather the supplies for our members and put these kits together. It's amazing how the members got really excited about learning that they were going to get these kits. And within days, I got pictures of things that they had created, and it was a really good rehab experience for them. It just touches their hearts.
The money, first of all, went towards packing materials because everyone came in and had their meals inside. That was all cut off. It provided food for seniors' hampers, and we do family hampers as well. It was a touching donation. It is one that was etched in my memory forever. It just came at the most vulnerable time for us, and it made such an impact.
I really want to say thank you to the donors that have supported healthcare training simulation-based education in the North, both for the Prince George Community Foundation and for the Spirit of the North.
What I would say to the Community Foundation is thank you. Thank you for all the support you've given us over the years, which is a lot, and I look forward to working with you again because it has been always such a pleasure to get this equipment that we can help our families with.
I am ever grateful to them for providing us with the funding so that we can do this, because the joy that this brings to our members is just indescribable. You know, it's just so great.
I would say thank you. You were a blessing beyond words, and it gave us security that we were able, through the most vulnerable time of March, April, May, and June, you were the backbone that helped us support those who are challenged by poverty.
The most incredible part about that is how it just barely skims the surface of the impact that the Community Foundation has across our entire community and the region. I want to go into a moment here to take a look at our sponsors. So again, a big thank you to our sponsors who are contributing to this show: Canadian Tire, Wood Wheaton Supercentre, Scotiabank, Brownridge Insurance, Acme Parking Lot Maintenance, MNP, All West Glass, and Scotiabank Wealth Management. Without them, we wouldn't have our show. We also have some notable donors to mention. We want to thank Kevin and Allison Gemmel for their $150 donation and Linda Rempel for her $250 donation. We've been getting a tremendous amount of donations coming in, pgcf.ca, and on the phones at 250-562-7772. Our total goal is $50,000, and we're about halfway there, $25,114. It's remarkable. We're about halfway through the show. We're about halfway to our goal. We're right on track, so let's keep that momentum going and make things happen. We're going to dump over and check out our painter, Emily Holmes, and see how she's doing. So let's head on up to the Northern Sports Centre and find out how she's doing.
Hey Kyle, so right now, as you can see, we're at about kind of a halfway point here. We still got lots to do. But what we've kind of done is we've gone with our lights and darks and slowly built our painting up, adding lighter colors over kind of the time frame. We haven't touched the sky. This is still the base layer on the sky and kind of a base layer on the water. We've been really kind of trying to bring this kind of cliff bluff a bit forward, and then we've kind of tried to keep this nice and dark to give it some depth. But the next step is to add some trees in here, really lighten it up, add some bright greens and yellows, and lighten up the water so it's kind of that alpine turquoise color, and then really try to have some fun with the sky.
Emily has been painting up at UNBC Northern Sports Centre, and it has some significance for her. From 2015 to 2020, Emily played all 5 years of her eligibility for the UNBC Timberwolves, where she was co-captain and later captain of her team. When I asked her about her experience of playing university basketball in her hometown, she said, "Getting to be a T-Wolf was huge for me. I got to represent my hometown school, all while competing in the sport I love." She talked a lot about how her experience on the basketball court has helped shape her into the person she has become off the court as well. She currently has some of her art on display at Zoe's on 4th Avenue, but you can find her collection online at her website, which you can access through her Facebook and Instagram pages, Emily Holmes Artwork and at Emily Holmes, respectively. Once again, we're really lucky to have Emily as part of our show tonight, and I can't wait to see how the rest of the painting comes along. We'll check in with Emily later on in the show for the grand reveal. Next up, we've got a segment which has a live audience, and it's sure to have you laughing. But first, I want to let you know and remind you, we've had COVID protocols in mind during all of our shoots, all of our production. And so with that, our live audience, they were in by invitation only. They were asked a COVID questionnaire, they gave their contact tracing, and they remained in their bubble, and they followed all COVID rules while on site. You may know our next guest is that guy from last summer who was pretty funny. He was in my backyard, socially distanced, and he told us a lot of jokes while bringing some beer. That was actually referred to as the Wheelie Funny Garden Party, where he and his partners raised nearly $10,000 for charity by coming to your backyard and telling jokes. He's a touring comedian. He's appeared on CBC's The Debaters, at the Peace County Comedy Festival, at the Okanagan County Comedy Festival, the Wheelie Funny fundraiser year after year, and so many more places that I'm just not quite willing to list off tonight. He's been described as PG's funniest man by at least 3 different people, and we're really lucky to have him on the show tonight. He's coming to us from Nancy O's with the first comedy show that they've had in many, many months. Take it away, Mike McGuire.
Thanks, Kyle. Really appreciate that wonderful introduction. Hope things going well over at the studio. If you guys want to donate, there's a banner running across the bottom of this screen right now. So yeah, donate to that, pgcf.ca. I didn't tell anybody I was doing that, so right now back in the studio, they're rushing to get a banner made. So that'll be fun for them. They'll hate me. They'll put me in soft focus or something. So I want to tell you how this came about. Kyle called me about a month and a half ago and said, Mike, I got a project. I said, Kyle, I'm in. He goes, you haven't even heard it. I said, I'm in. He says, it's comedy. I want you to do comedy. I said, I can do that. He said, it's for television. Got it. No problem. He says, I need you 10 or 12 minutes. I said, I can do that. He said, it's got to be clean. I said, wait, what? So I said, okay, here we go. So I went through my reams of material and gathered all up the clean material and brought it here for you tonight. So I really hope you enjoy the next 3.5 minutes. Yeah. Okay, I want to get this out of the way right now. I'm sorry I'm on a rant. I've been watching television, watching the media, and I'm really sick and tired of this. I got to get it out. And we've been fed lies for so long, and I'm just sick and tired of it. And I don't care. After you're going to hear the truth tonight. You're going to hear the truth from me. And if you unfriend me, never talk to me again, whatever, I don't care. Here it is. You've been lied to by the corporations. The sheeple have been repeating that same bull crap. And I'm here to tell you the truth. Here's the truth. There's no way this is a 2-bite brownie. A little drier than I imagined. Never really thought that joke out, I guess. It's fine. So Prince George, I mean, we're all from here, right? We love this town, right? Yeah. Wonderful charities. But I got to tell you, we need a PR guy. Your Worship, Lynn Hall, Mr. Mayor, if you're listening, I volunteer to pay more taxes. If you will hire a PR person, please. Because every time I go down to Vancouver and visit friends and relatives, every time I go beyond hope, they say, Mike, I heard a moose attacked the school bus. Say, seriously, that's what you hear about Prince George? They go, yep, that and it stinks. Fair enough. What else do you hear? Said, we heard you're the murder capital of the world. I said, we were the murder capital of Canada. Thanks a lot, Williams Lake. So here's the thing, we got to hire a PR guy, because you can take that same news and you can spin it a little bit and make it sound a lot better. So instead of moose attack school bus, how about children get close-up look at wildlife? Right? How about instead of Prince George stinks, How about blind people can find Prince George? Yeah. Inclusive. Instead of murder capital of Canada, how about Prince George donates blood? Way better, right? Because, you know, like, I'm from here, born and raised here. I can make fun of Prince George. Anybody from Prince George can make fun of Prince George. Somebody from out of town, they do it, I'll beat the shit out of them. Can I say that? Beep. I guess that explains the violence part. Oh my goodness. Here's something weird that I never thought would ever happen. Who's been driving along, minding their own business, get pulled over by the police, and scrambles to hide their cell phone, and just leaves their pot on the front seat? Anybody see that coming? No, I know I didn't. It'd be so much fun. Get pulled over. Because I have electric windows. Yes, officer? And he goes, he's looking. Where's your cell phone? That'll be weird. Yeah, pot's been legal for 2 years. And did anybody hear that the government of Ontario, in the first year of operation selling weed, lost $46 million? Yeah, exactly. They lost $46 million. There's only one way to lose money selling weed. And now normally this part of the joke, I look for somebody who looks like they're a dealer. But you're all friends and family. So I know who the dealers are. Yeah, that's the only way to lose money, smoking it yourself. Which probably explains the Premier of Ontario. And now government's getting into oil. If there's a way to lose money selling oil, the government's going to do it. The Trudeau government bought the Trans Mountain Pipeline. I'm sorry, they're going to lose money. The only upside I see of them buying that pipeline, the only upside, finally, Alberta is going to embrace something trans. Pause for laughter. I told that in Edson and got out alive. They didn't know what trans meant, apparently. For those of you who know me, who knows what the Wheeling Warriors? Who's heard of the Wheeling Warriors? By applause. I'm a proud Wheeling Warrior. There's some of you in the crowd tonight. For those of you who don't know, we're a bike riding team that raises money to fight cancer as part of the Ride to Conquer Cancer. And I've been involved for about 3 years. I got involved with a buddy, raised some money for him doing a comedy show. And then the next year he didn't ride, but another friend of mine was riding, so I did a comedy show for her. And then I did a third one for some more people, and they said, "Hey, Mike, why don't you just join the team?" I said, "What is it?" He said, "Well, it's a 225-kilometer bike ride over 2 days." And I said, "I can do that. I'll just borrow somebody's Harley, crack that thing off in a couple hours. Done." No! It's a bicycle. I pedaled 225 kilometers. And you know, I'm quite proud of that. I did it in 2 days. Yeah, thank you very much. Raised $5,000 thanks to a lot of my friends and family who donated. Thank you so much. And you know what? I think the word hero and sacrifice thrown around a little too much, but you really got to give it up for my bike seat. And the proctologist who pulled it out of my ass at the end of the end of the ride. Yeah. Whew. So I mean, I think I can't go the whole set without addressing the COVID thing, and the fact that weed's legal, and thank God for the last year, right? But the vaccines come out, and I really back up how they're rolling it out, you know, giving it to the elderly first. Because I've seen too many movies where the vaccine turns people into zombies. And if we're going to have people turn it into zombies, I want them to be 90 years old, they can't walk fast, and they have no teeth. Elsa. Go away. And I had to change things up. Pickup lines are different, right? Because you can't go to the bar. So you got to see, I developed some COVID-friendly pickup lines. And sorry, ladies, you're right there. I'm going to try these out on you if you don't mind. Like, hey, want to go somewhere and speak moistly? Or, geez, I'd really like to get to phase 3 with you. Or, what do you say to 14 days worth of self-quarantining? And here's my this is my closer. This one, I'm sure if I ever tried it for real, it would work. Here it is. Just looking at you reduced our social distance by 7.5 inches. Back to you, Kyle.
Mike McGuire, and what a great set down from Nancy O's on 3rd Avenue. Thanks, Mike, for being part of the show. Our next guest needs no introduction. Mayor Lynn Hall, how's it going?
Good, Kyle. It's going really good.
Great evening.
Great evening, and I just throw another plug in for the Community Foundation. And as you know, I sit on the board, very privileged to sit on the board representing the city.
Yeah, we're lucky to have you on that board.
They do a great job.
It's kind of nice. This night's so formal, but it's nice to see people laughing again.
Yeah,
together.
Well, Mike did a great job, and it's just, you're absolutely right. Good to see people in there having a good time.
Yeah, I want to jump right into it. And
Sure.
I want to say we've seen a lot of things change over the last year, but optimistically thinking, looking forward, once we're through this pandemic, what lies ahead? What excites you the most, and what keeps you optimistic?
I think the thing that keeps me optimistic is the news we hear every day, and we're going to get some more news tomorrow about the vaccine, and I think people are really setting their sights on that. What does it mean? And does it mean that things are going to slowly get back to what we would call normal? And the thing that I look forward to the most is being able to get together with my daughters and friends that we haven't really done the backyard barbecue. I think the last time we really got together with friends was that in the driveway.
Yeah.
And for us to be able to, Laurel and I to be able to see the girls on a continual basis is really something we're looking forward to.
Of course, and I know just from our conversations, you and Laurel have taken the opportunity to get out and do more things around town. So although you're not maybe spending as much time with friends and family, you're really getting a chance to get out there and do new things, which has been nice around the community. What's been your favorite place that you've ventured out to, that you've seen, that you've been checking out?
There's some great parks, and we've taken the opportunity to do that. And you know how busy we are, and to be able to have the time is really special for us. And Forests for the World really stand out to us. It's a spectacular place. In and around Shane Lake, you can do so many different trails up in that area. You can spend time and picnic around the lake and walk around the lake, and it doesn't matter any time of year. If it's raining, if it's snowing, if it's a beautiful 80 above day, you can do that. But we're really, really liking that area, and it's close to home for us.
Yeah.
And it's really a special spot.
Yeah, I like when I go up there and you see so many people just enjoying it, and there's enough room to space out, but you really see people taking advantage of that. For the last question, we've seen people show an incredible show of community spirit when it comes to people stepping up and doing their part to make this pandemic just a little bit more bearable. What's been one of the most uplifting stories or inspiring things that you've seen over the last year?
Well, it started early on, and we're coming up to a year that we've been in the pandemic, but early on, you'll recall this when Wes brought together the drummers, some of the Kitsan drummers from the Clyde Tenay, and drummed at the hospital in thank you to the nurses and the frontline workers. And a number of nights, Laurel and I were in the in the parade of cars that would go through and honk the horn, and I think that has really struck a chord with me and has stuck with me for the full year, Kyle.
Yeah.
And there are other things that have happened in the community. There is no question people stepping up and helping, as we've seen tonight with all of the nonprofit organizations helping out. But that's really stuck with me, is that show of thanks to those frontline workers early on in this pandemic was so important, I think, to really set the tone.
Yeah, and with that, Your Worship, I completely agree, and it's stories like that that really shape what our community is all about. And it's actually a great segue into our next segment of the show. So I'll ask the folks at home the same question. What's been something uplifting or inspiring that you've seen over the last year? Connect with us, tell your story using the hashtag PGLive. We'd love to hear them, and while you do, let's take a look back.
All over the world, people stocking up on things like toilet paper and hand sanitizer in light of COVID-19 continuing to spread.
School districts across BC have made decisions to cancel trips overseas.
1 hour after the World Curling Federation canceled the World Women's Curling Championship.
The facility is now closed until further notice due to
It is absolutely necessary that we take these steps, given what we heard today from Dr. Bonnie Henry.
They have been popping up in windows throughout the city of Prince George.
It's gone viral, which I think just shows this is something the community, and well, not just the community of Prince George, but Canada, the world needed.
At 7 o'clock each and every night, people making noise to show appreciation of frontline workers.
It doesn't matter what it takes to make noise. Clap, yell, whistle, scream. It doesn't matter. It's support.
A new show of support for those helping out through the COVID-19 pandemic. These Prince George Strong shirts with the hashtag #WeCanBeatThis.
A local woman is trying to do what she can in hopes of spreading love and compassion while also supporting food banks.
The Carrier-Sakani Tribal Council is building up hampers to deliver, usually dedicated for First Nations families, but this time more families are being reached.
It definitely went above and beyond our expectations of what we thought the community was going to show for us.
I think it's wonderful. I didn't know anything about it this morning.
It really is about sharing our medicine at times when there's challenges, especially for Indigenous people. We come together through medicine.
On March 13th, the Facebook page COVID PG Volunteers for All was created. It's grown into potentially the largest community support group in Prince George.
It's really heartwarming for me to see so many people pulling together, recognizing there's a need in the community and doing what they can to help out.
Bag Half Full is a no added cost delivery service for those more susceptible to contracting coronavirus. Volunteers also hope they can promote local businesses. This group alone has hit over 300 parades in the short time they've been working together. And while it's been a lot of work, it's been even more rewarding.
The quiet outside the Riverbend Seniors Complex was broken, all to say thank you to those who've been working through the pandemic.
We're spending more time outside. Our pets are getting to know us a heck of a lot more.
Prince George won't be remembered for living in fear. They're going to be remembered for how we all came together.
Our next guest has asked me to introduce him as not a professional, just a dude. He's community-minded. He's an all-around great guy. He's actually one of my best friends. We've got Dave Horton here with us. And Dave, what's on your head?
It's my silly hat. It's Operation Silly Chapeau. It's been my goal to bring more goofiness to our local news, and our local news is awesome, and this is just the next thing. Operation Silly Chapeau.
I feel like this is one of those times where you just rip up the cue card and you throw it away because I don't know where this is going to go.
I don't know either. I'm excited.
I don't think I expected you to show up with a Stormtrooper helmet.
People recognize it. That's the only reason.
Fair enough. All serious, Dave, right off the bat, I do want to mention the obvious piece, which is the last segment talked about all the incredible initiatives and things that have taken place during the pandemic. And early on, you've been involved in that. You went out and bought some equipment. You started hosting events, movie nights, trivia nights, games nights, all drive-in and all COVID safe, of course. And it's just seemed to have taken off from there with things like Candy Cruise. Can you walk us through just kind of briefly about where it started and what it's evolved to and where you're headed?
It started just like I was out of town, and it started just saying and knowing that the community could not do its normal things. So like you said, it was buying an FM transmitter and then just doing whatever the needs were. So we've done drive-in weddings, drive-in funerals, so events, drive-in graduations, high school and elementary, just helping people celebrate the regular events, but then also helping people do the regular things like Family Day, Halloween, Easter's coming, and just watching the city explode with support for things like this. It's been wild.
Yeah, and you know, it's to kind of lighten it up here. You and I are really good friends, and typically we find ourselves getting into a number of shenanigans. Like a few months ago, we were downtown, we were hanging out, and we actually, you'll see on the monitor there, we came across this chicken.
It's our downtown chicken friend.
We proceeded to capture it and rehome it. It was a homeless chicken, of course. What's been one of your favorite shenanigans that you've gotten up to this year? Something totally.
Oh man, I don't even know. This shenanigans, hit like the first half hour of Candy Cruise when there was 2 kilometer long lines of people lined up for candy. That felt like shenanigans. Putting my car in 4-wheel drive and maybe driving over Sellen's Canadian Tire grass lots, trying to jump the lines to help the lines move, to make sure everything was safe, to get the fire department through so they could show off to kids. Like, doing these events has been so much fun, and it has been wild to be part of that organization.
Yeah, I know you've been inspired by some other folks who have been doing great things in our community as well. I guess in one sentence or less, what's an initiative that's taken place this past year that you weren't a part of that has inspired you?
The honking car birthday guys. That is unbelievable stuff, like unbelievable. And then Spirit Day that raised $90,000, they blew their goal out of the water.
Yeah.
And so for something like this, like people got to call in, they've got to go online, and they've got to give.
Yeah.
Like this is the thing, Prince George needs to show up and give to this event and make this happen. It's unbelievable.
Together. Yeah, it's a good way to come together. You know, Dave, I just want to say thanks so much. I do want to say how proud I am, but not just proud, how appreciative I am that you're here in our community. The way you give back over the past year especially, but beyond, it's just been really inspiring, and I know that folks in our community have seen that and they really appreciate it. So on behalf of the entire community, thanks for all the cool initiatives you've taken on. It's been really amazing, and it's just clear how much you care about PG. So that's why you're here on the show. And because it gives us a chance to hang out when we're not allowed, even though there's plexiglass. It's kind of a good excuse.
Nice.
So, you know, I want to jump into our next piece here. I'd love to talk further, but we got to mix things up. We want to thank our sponsors one more time, and rather than me do it, I think I'm going to give you this cue card.
Oh, nice.
And if you want to read out the sponsors real quick, you can
For sure.
go right ahead.
Canadian Tire, Prince George, Wood, Wheaton Supercenter, Scotiabank, Brown Ridge Insurance, Acme Parking Lot Maintenance, MNP, All West Glass, Scotia Wealth, Kyle Sampson Productions, it's a very secondary sponsor, you can forget that one, and CKPG TV and the Jim Pattison Broadcast Group have been unbelievable to this.
We want to thank our notable sponsors as well, or donors, I should say. Candace McGuire, $250. Les Waldy, $500. Judy Nizer, $500. And Kelly Moorhead, $250. We are so grateful for everybody sending in their donations. We're currently sitting at $37,500 of a goal of $50,000. We're coming up on the end of our show in just about 20 minutes, and we need your donation, so call us now at 250-562-7772 or visit pgcf.ca. Our next guest, they've got a new album out, Smokes Let's Go. You can check them out online on Apple Music and Spotify. It's Studio 720. Over to them.
Thanks, Kyle. This is a song off of our first album. This is called Cresting the Hill.
Down Louisiana to New Orleans. The way she swayed was the greatest that I'd ever seen. are you? Well, I shook his hand and told him she calls me daddy too. I could see you crying from your windows. Hell, you could see me waving as I'm crossing a hill. Yeah. I could see you crying from your windows. Hell, you could see me waving as I'm crossing a hill. You miss the sex. Sabotage like the way you daydream of your ex. It's of the past. Twist yourself up with the way you daydream of a chest. If you want my sweets, maybe you can just have some. Hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me. You want my sweets, maybe you can just have some. Hold me, hold me for ransom. A social lie. Mess yourself up with the way you daydream of a life. You know it's right. Twist yourself up with the way you're thinking of a wife. If you want my sweets, maybe you can just have some. Hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me. You want my sweets, maybe you can just have some. Hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me. You want my sweets, maybe you can just have some. Hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me. You want my sweets, maybe you can just have some. Hold me for ransom. sweets, baby, you can just have some. Hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me. You want my sweets, baby, you can just have some. Hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me. You want my sweets, baby, you can just have some. Hold me, hold me. You want my sweets, baby, you can just have some. Hold me for ransom.
Studio 720, amazing, and I can't wait to get back to local rock and roll just like that once we're through all of this live in person. But right now it's not bad here on Prince George Live. We've had a chance to get an update here. We have Dave Scouten, board member for the Community Foundation, who just gave $500 and has helped us get to our new total of $50,000, $676, $50,676. We've surpassed our goal, but that doesn't mean we should stop. Let's keep it going, because the more funds that come in, the more great work that the Community Foundation can do right here in Prince George. So if you want to donate, check them out. Our operators are standing by at 250-562-7772, or you can head online at www.pgcf.ca. Now, we've had the chance to duck in and check out the progress of the masterpiece, but now it's time to reveal the final product and see what she's been able to create. Let's go up and check in with Emily Holmes one last time at the Northern Sports Centre.
Thanks, Kyle. We had a lot of fun tonight creating our painting. This is kind of what we managed to create tonight. So once again, this was kind of inspired by a bit of a northern BC alpine lake, kind of from a photo I had taken on a girls trip. But we managed to try to brighten up the lake and add a bit of orange to the sky to really make it pop. And I always like to add a bit of splatter just to make it a bit more of a painting rather than a picture, and just kind of makes things a bit more fun. So I hope that we can auction this off and raise lots of money for the Prince George Community Foundation.
It's absolutely stunning. Emily has created this painting on a 24 by 30 canvas. The painting is available on our online auction now. It's available for bidding, so check it out, pgcf.ca to bid. Our online auction will stay open until tomorrow, Monday at 7 p.m. when it all closes. So get those bids in. This is going to be the prized masterpiece of the night. If you like what you see, I encourage you to check out Emily Holmes' artwork online on Facebook, Instagram, and support this extraordinarily talented local artist. And on behalf of the Prince George Community Foundation, thank you to Emily and all of our entertainers for tonight's contributions and making this show such a wild success. Well, it's been an absolutely great night tonight, and donations continue to pour in. Let's take a look at what we've got. Kelly Moorhead has contributed once more $500. It's absolutely fantastic to see, and we've seen many more donations like that coming in. Right now we're sitting at a total of $51,126. It's climbing, it's exciting, and we don't want it to stop. These donations can continue as the week goes on, and we'll continue to find ways to support the community through the Greatest Need Fund with the Prince George Community Foundation. So a little over $51,000. We've surpassed our goal, but we don't want those donations to stop. If you're willing, if you're able, call us now, 250-562-7772, or head online at pgcf.ca. You can donate there, and you can also click through to the online auction where you can bid on an abundance of local items that are here on our silent auction, and they're available until 7 p.m. tomorrow night. That's Monday. Now, I want to specifically thank our fantastic production crew and our broadcast crew, the folks behind the scenes who have been helping to bring this show to life and been helping to make this happen, as well as our sponsors, our partners, and for just one more time, all of you at home who've been watching. Your support for the Prince George Community Foundation is deeply appreciated. To you at home, our total is sitting at over $51,000, and that's truly remarkable. It's climbing, and we don't want that to stop. So again, if you can contribute, whether it's $5 or $500, every dollar counts, every dollar helps. And it's going to go to the Greatest Need Fund with the Prince George Community Foundation. It's truly remarkable. So don't forget the auction closes tomorrow at 7. Get your bids in online. Once again, my name is Kyle Sampson. It's been an absolute pleasure being your host tonight of Prince George Live. Thanks for sticking with us. We got Studio 720 to play us out with one last song, and good night.
Thanks for having us. This last song's called Breakwater.
I'll chase you down the stones and stumble over the waves. You run at heels and a stutter at the grass. I'll see you in your sleep. I'll see you in the night. Feeling high, not so dry, coming down from heights. Sing it down, just to get it through. Keep the waves smashing on our feet, so we went through. Run it down, I'm forgetting you. I did nothing to deserve you. Call me late, call me now, call me when you get home. Late at night, a lonely light, I'll lay alone. You read me like it's inside, and it's plain to say. What you say, you'll get your way, a child on my knee. Sing it down, just to get it through. Keep the waves smashing at our feet, so we went through. Run my strength.